Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Well, I hope you're enjoying this fall weather. I hear we might get snow in another week or so, but then we still have some warm weather. Isn't that fun? But being October, I called a certain person and I said, hey, it's Fire Prevention Month, and how about coming on? So thank you, newly elected Fire Chief Lyon, and he brought the assistant in today. Good. I'm glad you're here because it's been a year since we had some information to relate to those people sitting there.
Okay.
What is Fire Prevention Month and how did it all get started? Do you know?
Fire Prevention Month is once a year and typically in October, and it's to educate the public and about fire awareness, home safety, and doing the proper thing to protect people at home.
Okay. And so that's how you sort of get through the city, though, right? Are you the one that's in charge of the?
Yeah, we through the Wyandotte Fire Department, we use the Fire Pup programs, National Fire Safety. So the businesses throughout town have actually funded all of our fire education material for every child that goes to Wyandotte Public Schools from preschool all the way till 5th grade. They all got fire education material this year. And that was a huge thanks to all of the businesses that donate to that program through the city of Wyandotte. So this program, what they do is they send out letters to the businesses, and those businesses will, write a check to the fire department, and we purchase all of our 100% of the profits go to our fire education material. Then we're able to disperse that through the public schools in Wyandotte. So it's awesome for us. It's great material. It's great that the businesses actually are part of the program, and we appreciate it, and couldn't do it without them. So it's they did amazing this year. I think we raised from the businesses almost $10,000 this year.
Really? Beautiful.
So it's we haven't had the opportunity. They all get thank you letters, but this is a great opportunity to come on your show and also thank the
See, those are
the business
things we
owners.
don't know.
Yeah. So
See? Yeah.
And
So
we've
that's
been
great.
part of the program for 3 years now. There was a period of time where we didn't do it, but we were part of it probably 10 years ago.
It's a good program. So we use this month of October to get our message out to not only the kids, but the senior citizens. We order material and we drop them off at the senior high rises also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we try and cover all of our bases in the high school. We have some anti-vaping stuff, posters that we ordered and stuff like that. So it's been it's been good. It's a good program, and we're fortunate to have the
Too
support
bad
of
you didn't have
businesses.
some more pamphlets left. You could have.
We dropped off 100% of everything we ordered, except we do have some fire helmets because we just had our open house 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and some bracelets for the kids. We do functions throughout the year, and we like to hand that stuff out. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that actually work out, that open house? Did you have a lot of people in town and come in?
It was a great turnout. It was probably one of the larger ones
it was great.
over the last few years, so it worked out
In
well.
conjunction with Fire and Flannel.
Yeah.
So that's always nice when they include us in something like that. So we had a really good turnout. It was gave out hot dogs and drinks for the kids, and they got to walk around the station, and we had face painting and stuff like that. So that was cool.
I had mentioned to you about the ambulance, and you did refresh my memory. I think it was about a year ago. You said Joe actually came down and took footage at your place and in the ambulance and that. And because I was kiddingly saying I was hoping to come down and instead of laying down flat, get an idea what are the mechanisms in your ambulance. I mean, that's got to be worth a lot of money.
We're really well equipped in our rescues. We have cardiac monitors, and they're upwards of $35,000 a piece. Gratefully, we have a great working relationship with Henry Ford Wyandotte Hospital, who actually purchased the monitors for the city of Wyandotte.
That helped.
Yep, we were recently awarded a federal grant, Assistance to Firefighter grant. They're called Lucas devices, so they assist in doing CPR. And each one of those units is upwards of almost $20,000. So we have a lot of equipment to help us mitigate a cardiac arrest or any medical emergency as paramedics.
And that takes people that know how to use the equipment too.
Yes.
So you got to give you guys credit for that, right?
All of our personnel are all paramedics.
Okay.
We train monthly. They are required so many hours of training every month, and they work very hard. They're super skilled and intelligent and highly trained personnel, both fire and paramedics.
Beautiful. Okay. How many people are actually in your department there anyway?
We're budgeted for 28
Okay.
members, and then the 2 of us, and we have 1 secretary. Currently, we have 3 open positions, so
Oh,
we're
really?
hiring. So if anybody's a
Yeah.
paramedic firefighter,
Oh.
please go to
Oh,
the
give
city.
your-
Yeah,
There you go.
give the shameless plug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole fire service as a whole is really struggling to get new candidates coming into our line of work. So every fire department has been very short-staffed, and we're working our way back, but we're still short. So we do the best we can staffing all of our trucks.
Well,
but
even the
sometimes-
police department. I've heard in a lot of cities they're have want ads out like crazy and nobody's coming in.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
well, okay, what's the requirement to come into the fire department?
You have to have your firefighter 1 and 2 certification,
Okay.
and you can go to a community college. They have a, you can do it either in a semester program or a,
They have like
Special-
they have programs where you can go straight through, like a year-long class that's not not in the community colleges. A lot of like Dorsey Business School offers it, and I think it's a 12-month program to become paramedic.
Okay.
But yeah, your fire 1 and 2, like Tom was saying, you can do an academy style, which is Monday through Friday, from 8 in the morning till 5 at night, and it's really fast. It's like 8 to 10 weeks.
Oh, really?
Or you can go with the semester program, which takes a little bit longer.
Okay, doesn't Wayne County Community College have one?
Wayne County Community College offers it. Schoolcraft Community College offers it. Macomb,
Yeah.
Oakland, most of the community
Most of the
colleges.
community
So,
yeah, I think
yeah.
that's where
And
most
then-
of the training comes from.
yep, to get through you have to be a firefighter 1 and 2, and then you also have to have your paramedic license. So it takes about a semester to get your basic life support, your basic EMT license, and then approximately a little over a year, like Jeremy was saying, to get your paramedic license. So it's pretty demanding, it's pretty challenging.
Yeah.
The testing's hard.
But they have to have all this done before they can
Correct.
say, hey, can I get a job?
Yes, and that's the challenging part. There's not as many kids out there to fill all the positions, whether it's police, fire, teachers, nurses.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we have to get them out of sports maybe and get them into something else.
Yeah.
Any-
Not sure why, but I think all the trade work usually seems to be lagging behind, and people coming into those areas. So our job is to try and get out. Like, we talk to all the kids. We do career days at the high school. They have a career pathways class. I know they do mock interviews. We go there. So we try and get out and try and get the younger kids interested in it,
Interested.
and we'll see where it goes. I mean, hopefully, we
Well,
can.
with these classes, you never know. I mean, if they get to see you as a normal person sitting next to them or talking with them, they say, oh, okay, it might be for me. Who knows?
Right.
Right. Okay, so in your classes, though, how do you actually teach these kids? I mean, you give the material out and all this. What happens when you actually go to the classroom?
we love doing hands-on. So the younger kids, we hit the early childhood, and those kids, they're there for the big truck. They want to touch the helmet, they want to touch the truck, they want to just get in and you might turn the sirens on. But you can start teaching the kids at an early age about calling 911 if there's an emergency within the house or a family member's sick. So we'll
Yeah.
educate them to know their address,
That's
to
important.
give the dispatcher if what the emergency is, where they're at, in the house or what's going on. So we will teach them all that type of stuff to educate them at an early age. We teach them about smoke detectors, that they have them in their house and have their parents show them where they're at and to test them monthly and change the batteries and don't take the batteries out. Don't play with fire, matches, stuff like that. That fire is a tool, not a toy.
You don't realize all this information that's necessary until you start saying, if they tried calling in, they have to know where they're at, what their address is, or telephone number, what's happening,
Right, right.
and how many kids can actually do. But occasionally you do see something in the news that, hey, this so little kid actually saved the parent or something.
Yeah, you hear about that all the time.
Yeah. So they must have had some class or people made them aware of, hey, what's your address? One thing, many moons ago, I took my grandkids out for a walk, and they don't realize the streets. Have to realize, like, yeah, this is where I live, but this and this and this over there. And it's like, wow, didn't realize that. How many kids probably get in the car and get their little cell phone and fooling around, don't even know
Where
what
they're
direction mom and dad are going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, for sure.
it's a silly thing, but
I think in the cell phone age, I think the attention spans are shorter, and they just a lot of things they don't think of. But we do talk to the kids yearly, and we try and get out and push our message out, and like we get in our gear because we can be intimidating when we're all dressed up, and let the kids know if you see someone dressed like us, we're there. It's a safe person, and we're there to help you, not so not hide during if there's ever fire or smoke alarms go off. A lot of kids, it can be scary, so they hide, and we teach them all of the basic stuff when they're younger, and we reiterate it. We just keep going back every year and keep pounding it in their heads, and then hopefully eventually they they understand it, and it's just second nature.
because you never know when an emergency will crop up. I mean, they may never ever have to do that, but just in case.
Right.
Sure.
Right. And of course, you mentioned something about the batteries and that. And of course, I think every year we were reminded, change that little mechanism in your alarm.
So a very important thing is smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in homes. It's very important, especially now that we're approaching winter time and furnaces are kicking on and the house is sealed up, doors are shut, hot water tanks are going. Just to make sure everything's working properly, running, it's important to get things looked at by a trained professional, a heating cooling person. But for the kids or even any family member to make sure your smoke detectors, they typically have an expiration date. A lot of people don't know.
Right.
You can pop it off, you look at the back side, and it'll have an expiration date. So they're usually about 10 years.
10 years.
That you should replace them. And then a lot of the newer ones actually have like a lithium ion battery in it, so you don't ever have to replace it. Those batteries are good for up to 10 years.
You just hit
Yeah,
it.
we get calls sometimes change the battery, like it's chirping, and you can't get to the battery because they're disposable. They're made to last 10 years, and then they throw them out and replace it. So some of the
Really?
newer ones, they have so many different ones, but these
So
new
they're
ones.
using lithium in a lot of different sources. Somebody said that something was stolen out of his car, and the reason for it was it's lithium, and they go and sell it, but it took him $2,500 to replace that item in his car.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's supposed to be watch out now because it's happening in Wyandotte too. So,
Yeah.
but that's another thing. But when you
Times are
said
changing.
lithium,
Times are changing.
I mean, so we got another advanced item though. I mean, when you're talking about this instead of what was our way of taking care of an incident.
Yeah, the older models have typically a 9-volt battery. Some have AA or AAA, and we all have probably been guilty of it, taking the battery out to put in a remote control or something, but we urge people to not do that. but always try to test your smoke detector once a month. If you have to replace the battery, try to do it at the time change in spring and fall as a good reminder. You should always have a smoke detector on every level of the floor, and try to have one in each sleeping quarters as well, in each bedroom. A good lesson too is to sleep with your doors shut. So in case there was an accident or a fire in the basement or main floor, the smoke and fire can't travel into a bedroom. You have some safety. So if there's a smoke detector outside the sleeping quarters, it can alert somebody inside
Okay.
the bedroom.
Do we ever learn how to go out the back bedroom window in case of an emergency?
Hey,
And
if
don't
you
go
gotta
back
get out,
in.
yeah.
Once
Just
you're
don't
out,
go
stay
back.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't go back in. Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, this goes to show how old I am when you think about all the lessons that we were taught along the way, and now it's the modern generation. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else now that we can, as long as you have people there, what would happen, say, your spouse or somebody all of a sudden stops breathing?
Immediately call 911.
Okay.
Immediately, first thing in any emergency, whether it's a medical emergency or a fire or car accident, first thing is always call 911 to get the police and fire department going. And then the dispatchers are all trained. They potentially can talk you through an emergency situation. If it's somebody's not breathing, they might talk you through to either do rescue breathing, CPR, something until we get there. And gratefully in our town, we pretty much can get to any event from the time of call in less than 5 minutes. So,
Okay. And we got to give the dispatcher group a big thank you.
oh, the
because-
dispatchers,
They're great.
they're the glue that keeps it all together,
Yeah.
and they're super. They get all the calls. So,
Do they have to have they must have special training in order to know what department to go to?
they're certified. I don't, because they're in the police station, but yes, they are certified to do emergency 911, medical emergencies, and police situations. But yes, they have to meet certain criteria as well. But that would probably be a good question for the
Yeah.
police chief. Or
Police chief.
Yep.
We'll get him on next.
Good, good.
Yeah, he needs to get on
Okay.
here, right? Yeah.
So what do you have usually planned for each week? I mean, when you go to this station in the morning, you have other duties to perform until you get the call, or?
Yep. Jeremy, the assistant chief, and I, we have our daily duties, which encompass facilitating all the training. We do the budgeting, all that type of stuff. But currently, the crews have been going to BASF for past 12 weeks, roughly. We have a 12-week. So we try to facilitate a lot of training throughout the city, and the guys, all the members of the fire department. So every Monday and Tuesday for the last several weeks, they go to BASF. They're touring all the facilities, the plants, just to know how to mitigate a situation there, because that's a whole different city in itself.
Wow. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of training.
Yeah, I mean, our daily routine is, the workers, they get there at 7 a.m. We obviously at Wyandotte work 24-hour shifts. So they start at 7 a.m. and start checking their trucks out. We do training 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Sunday they take off. And then I'm sure people have seen us at Jerry's or Aldi's. We do.
Well, sure.
It's our house. It's their house. They cut the grass. They do all the cleaning there. In the winter months, we check monthly. Every fire hydrant in the city of Wyandotte gets checked. Make sure they're not full and frozen, so when we need them, they're available and they're in working condition. In the summer, all of our officers, we do safety inspections of all the businesses. We check fire extinguishers, exits, just really like, just basic safety information for them and their customers. And there's over 800 businesses in the city of Wyandotte, so we do all those in the summer. So between the calls, the fire calls and our EMS calls, we stay busy, and we try and make, are an asset to the citizens in the city of Wyandotte. And so our employees, they work hard, and they're always there. And if we're 24/7, 365, our doors are always open to the public, or anybody that has an issue or a problem. we're available at all times. So
Okay.
I think our rescue run numbers last year were just over 3,000 in the city of Wyandotte
Really?
rescues. And then we had a little over 700 fire calls.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're not the busiest fire department, but we do provide a lot of other services that a lot of other fire departments don't. And it's
Okay,
They
you
do good
mentioned,
work.
what do we do that they don't do?
well, we do our fire hydrants throughout
Yeah.
the city of Wyandotte. A lot of departments, the water department handles that in other cities. We handle it in Wyandotte.
Oh, okay.
The inspections
The- the-
that throughout the summer months, spring
Yeah.
and summer.
The commercial buildings, like Jeremy said, there's approximately 800 commercial buildings within the city.
Yeah.
And we try to visit every building throughout every year
Yeah.
to just do it's a safety check.
And double check.
Yeah,
and make sure.
sometimes the business owners aren't. They're shocked we're there because we just drop in, But
Oh.
we try and let them know that, hey, we're not here to, we're here to help you and make sure it's safe for you and your customers. It's not like they don't get charged or anything like that. But yeah,
It's not like they
sometimes
don't.
it's intimidating when we walk in. We're like, we're here to do an inspection, but
They say, "What?"
it's more just for their safety and their customers' safety.
Okay. But of course, you can't make arrangements to say, I'm going to be at your place at so-and-so time, because you never know how many phone
Calls.
calls you're going to be getting in.
Certainly, right.
So it's just like, okay, let's go here.
Yep.
So you keep an idea of which ones you checked off and who's next.
Correct. Exactly. Yep. It's a
Yeah, we got a
rotating
list.
list. Yep. We have a list and
Running
we check
list.
it twice.
Oh, gee. Hey, I got to give you credit, because Dan Wright was our fire chief, and all of a sudden you became one. It's
Yeah.
like you had, 24 years of service,
24 years. Yep.
and you had 22?
22.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you shifted into his shoes, and he's
Yeah.
Yep.
the top one
He's
learning.
top dog. I'm following in the footsteps. Big shoes to fill.
It takes a team, and we at the fire station we value it. It takes everybody.
Yeah.
It's a great team, and you got to respect everybody, respect all the workers there, and
Yeah.
that's what makes us successful.
Well, you're a family. You're with
Exactly.
each other probably sometimes more than the individuals are with their own
Certainly.
family.
Oh yeah, and we experience super stressful stuff that the average person doesn't experience. So
And when I had talked to one of the girls at the dispatching team a couple of years ago, I said, with them getting all those calls too, it's got to be stressful for them, because they're trying to make the contact, make sure that that individual is being taken care of. But I think you go home wondering exactly how it turned out. And I said, do you go home sometimes feeling stressed out? She said, oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think the one thing about our dispatch, like when you call 911 in the city of Wyandotte, like they handle all of Elm Parks, Lincoln Parks, Southgates, and Wyandotte's calls. So they're really busy, and so they're not just handling the calls that we do here in
Right.
Wyandotte.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't know if the general public know that, but they do a really good job. So.
yeah. There's another, not to steal any thunder, but the dispatchers, there's a job too. It's a great job. It's rewarding, a lot of training, but they're short-staffed as well.
Are they?
Yep, and I believe the statistics, like many other dispatch centers around Michigan, the average is one dispatcher per 30,000 residents. Our dispatchers are doing one dispatcher per 60,000. So they take a high volume of calls right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're key.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for these people to realize there's a lot of careers open, available. Maybe the kids can learn something and get into that before,
Oh, yeah.
well, thinking about even in high school, because you have to almost like it. You have to want to do something.
Sure, yeah.
And then maybe with you guys going around to the schools, that might, like I said, might help out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's fun for us, and like I said, our ultimate goal, like during the Fire Prevention Month, is to get our message out. Fire safety, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, checking them, make sure they work, giving home safety plans, exit strategies for the kids, making sure they know how to get out of their house, things like that. Stay low, below. Like most fatalities are from the smoke, not the fire. So you let the kids know that you got to get low and get out of the house, and not hide. You know, that's what our fire prevention month's for, is, you know, to make sure we spread our fire prevention message.
To educate them.
So educate these kids, and you know, it's
Studies show 30 years ago, a lot of articles in the home were man-made or natural fibers and natural wood and wool and natural materials. So statistics, I think a fire used to double much slower in time, but now today it's all man-made materials made of oil resins or whatever, and
So it goes.
super quick. So
Yeah.
and a lot of the homes nowadays are built lightweight construction, so they burn and fail quicker as well. So if you can get out of the house, stay out of the house, and don't go back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Important lesson.
Yep.
Really, I mean, it could be your life. Your house might go down, but hey, you're important too. So
Correct.
thanks for coming and giving your words of wisdom, because I'm not being sarcastic now. I appreciate that, because we can talk all we want, but it's you people who are there every day on a day-to-day fire department and safety basis that if maybe they'll listen to you, and hopefully that's why you came on.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks for having us. And
like,
If you ever think of something else, just come on.
good.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll
Like-
be in touch.
our door's open too. So if
Okay.
anyone has questions or anything about the fire department
That's
they
an
want,
idea.
just come on by. So
Okay. Now, can they go to either one of the fire departments, or are you mostly open all the time?
Both fire stations are staffed with fire
Okay.
personnel 24/7
Okay.
every day of the year. Downtown is the main station, so that our offices are there. And if the engine or the rescue's out and it's Monday through Friday, we should be there. But yeah, they can go to either station, but the downtown station is it's newly renovated. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's it's gorgeous. So yeah, come down
Okay.
downtown.
All right.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay. Hey, I'm glad you watched there, and maybe we learned another lessons. So anyway, you take care, and we'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. Bye now.